I have two stories here about 3-year-olds dying because of gunshots. One shot himself, the other was shot by a man trying to kill a family member. I'll start with the 3-year-old shooting himself first. And the disturbing part about this is that just hours after the son of Michigan father Brian Holbrook shot himself dead, the dad went on Facebook and started posting about the right to bear arms. He said, "I have nothing wrong with guns." Not really a grammatically correct sentence. I have nothing wrong with guns, but we understand it nonetheless. I have nothing wrong with guns. I will still support the Second Amendment. The gun that Holbrook's son Damon used to shoot himself had been left in an unlocked case. The firearm was owned by Joshua Michael Greenhill, a 30-year-old male. Greenhill did have a permit for the gun. He has been charged with careless discharge causing injury or death and is now facing up to 2 years in prison and a fine of $2,000. He said he put the gun in the closet after he got back from work and that the boy found it and pulled the trigger within 5 minutes. Also posted by the father, yesterday I lost my 3-year-old son to a gun accident. We are all hoping to wake up from this nightmare. My baby boy is gone, and I will never get to hold him again. I will miss him terribly. I was doing some background on this, and I found an article by Justin Peters on Slate, and he expressed how a lot of us feel about the deaths of hundreds of children every single year before they're even 10 years old. And he says, the speed with which the family friend was arrested is worth noting and applauding as an example of how authorities ought to handle cases like these. Usually the investigating officers first deem the shooting a tragic accident, and then charges are brought later, if at all. But the Michigan police wasted no time in arresting the family friend, and that's how it ought to be done. It's very tempting for the police to characterize these sorts of incidents as no-fault accidents. After all, what purpose does it really serve to compound a family's trauma by packing the relevant adults off to jail? Well, the purpose is to deter other adult gun owners from making the same mistakes. I said it once, Lewis, and I'll say it again. The idea of an accidental shooting does not make sense to me. It is either a deliberate firearm discharge or a negligent firearm discharge. If it is a child, if it is a minor, then the negligence is on behalf of the adult who allowed, through their negligence, the child to obtain that gun. It's, we can't do much other than just say, let's enforce that, if nothing else, and hope it has a deterrent effect.
Right. I hope this idiot knows this is 100% his fault. I think the charges should be way steeper than 2 years in prison, because people aren't going to pay attention to the rules if the penalties aren't as harsh as they should be. And I know losing your child is a pretty harsh penalty.
But certainly that's not the penalty to the gun owner who was not the father of the child. And I think you're completely and absolutely right, Lewis.